what we talking about? Let's talk about the psychological meanings behind the moon's nodes. That's the north node and the south node, right? The moon's nodes are basically points in the sky where it's really points in the ecliptic where the moon passes through, right? And the north node is where the moon passes through the ecliptic in the northernmost part of the world, and the south node is where the moon passes through the ecliptic in the northernmost part of Earth, right? So that's the north node and the south node. The north nodes are always going retrograde, therefore the north node is for inner work. It's more so about represents your spiritual direction and spiritual development and things like that. With the south node being qualities that you bring with you to this existence, right? That you already have, qualities that you may have accumulated from past lives and things like that, as you accumulated experiences through lives, and you may have brought those certain qualities with you into this lifetime. It could also represent qualities that you may naturally pick up, habits you may naturally pick up as a child, things you may naturally express without you even thinking. It's just natural, unconscious habits. It's what you kind of fall back on when things might get rough. That's your south node. Your north node meaning a direction or a spiritual development that you're trying to gain and that you're here to develop for yourself. So they're in opposition to each other. So in a sense, creating some type of conflict, strain. You know what I'm saying? With the south node representing, like I said, your north node takes conscious effort in order to to work on the developments that your spirit is here to do. Just, and that's one of the many developments, you know what I'm saying? But that's more so inner spiritual development versus, Mercury might be working on your communication. That's to express outwardly, you know what I'm saying? So with your north node, it's talking about your inner spiritual development. So it takes conscious effort to work on that development, right? So, but once we might get into a hardship, some type of conflict, something that might bring our energy down, bring it low, we might fall back onto our unconscious habits that might not serve us no purpose, but that's what we may be used to, and that's represented in the south node, right? So the north node represents our conscious development for our spirit, our spiritual path, while we here, while we come here, something to develop to help us become more whole, because that's the whole purpose of us being projected into this reality in the first place, is to help us gain the experiences to make us more whole, so we can be one with the oneness and not have to go through experience physical realities no more. So that that north node south node axis helps you to understand what path and what spiritual path you necessarily on. So if we run them through the signs real quick, and we'll just be real brief, right? So let's say your north node is in Aries, right? And that'll naturally put your south node in Libra, right? So north node in Aries, it might be your spiritual direction. You need to develop more assertiveness, how to be more self-influenced and self-motivated, able to use your own energy to stand on your own self, to produce your own, be more competitive, to produce whatever you need. With your south node being in Libra, you may naturally lean on other people. You know what I'm saying? You may naturally depend on other people to handle your business, take care of your business, or just for the comfort of being around other people. But this lifetime is meant for you to be more independent and depend on yourself. So either you're gonna consciously direct yourself and work on that development, or life is going to, of course, put you through experiences that's going to help keep reminding you every time you fall back into depending on somebody. It's going to help remind you that you need to be more independent, you know what I'm saying? And that can be a reason why you may be going through that in your lifetime. That may be a lifetime developmental process and experience that you're going to constantly go through until you finally figure out, I need to be on my own and work on my own and be able to produce my own energy. And only then will you be able to comfortably mingle and harmonize with another person and not be more dependent on it, but be more so a strong partner. And so let's flip it, right? Let's put the North Node in Libra and then the South Node in Aries, right? So with your North Node in Libra, now your spiritual direction, you come to learn how to harmonize with people, learn how to be a partner, a good partner, and things like that. Learn how to balance people out, balance yourself out, learn inner harmony. But you may be, your South Node, your unconscious habits, you may be a little more selfish. You may be more worried about yourself. You're not worried about other people. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to work with other people. You may argue with other people. All types of things. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, you're going to, of course, go through the necessary experiences to help remind you and guide you on that path of inner development, of spiritual development, that you need to be able to harmonize with people and be of a better partnership and have more compassion for people around you and things like that. If we put the North Node in Taurus, and then the South Node gonna be in Scorpio, right? So now if your North Node in Taurus, your spiritual direction, that means you're trying to find some value within yourself, find value within the reality around you. And you may do that through accumulating possessions, things that give you self-worth. You may be here to learn to see things, learn to see the beauty in things, learn to be more easy and more pleasant and things like that. With your South Node being in Scorpio, you may naturally be connected to that Scorpio energy. You may naturally be intense. You may naturally take things deep. You know what I'm saying? But this life will be trying to tell you to just be a little more easy and not, taking things so deep into the intense side, but just seeing the beauty in things. You know what I'm saying? Helping to build and not destroy, right? And if we flip it, right, we put the North Node in Scorpio, then we put the South Node in Taurus, right? If your North Node is Scorpio, then this lifetime is trying to tell you that you need to be more intense, more under the surface, more into what's going on psychologically, and more in tune to your emotional strength to be able to go through those emotional transformations necessary to make you more powerful, right? And your South Node in Taurus, you may naturally look at things surface level. You don't want to go beyond the surface. You only want the easy route. You only take the easy route, right? That's your natural habit. You know what I'm saying? But this lifetime is trying to help tell you to be more intense and go beneath the surface. Don't be afraid to dig into your inner world, your under the world, your whatever you want to call it, right? So if we take the North Node and we put it into Gemini, right, and South Node in Sagittarius, right? So North Node in Gemini, this lifetime will be telling you that your spirit wants you to be more willing to learn, more open to ideas, and willing to go through different experiences to gain different to gain the experience, to gain the information, the knowledge that comes with it, to work on your communication skills, communicating with people and things like that. So with your South Node in Sagittarius, then you may naturally sit in a place where you feel like you know it all. You don't need to go through these experiences. You don't need to listen to nobody's ideas. You know what I'm saying? You might take nobody else's ideas seriously. You may only, listen to your own ideas and be an independent thinker. Nothing wrong with that. But if this life serves better for you to be more open-minded and more ready to learn and adapt to new information, then life is going to continuously put you through those challenges and experiences until you realize that's what you're meant to be. Now if you flip it and you put the North Node in Sagittarius and you put the South Node in Gemini, then this life is telling you that you need to be more wise, right? You need to be more willing to go into the more unfamiliar places to gain knowledge there, because you are already wise and aware of the surrounding areas that you're in, your environment. So you're more to be a far range thinker, you know what I'm saying? More of a teacher, more of a wise person, you know what I'm saying? More of a traveler, explorer, right? Explorer of whatever. You can explore the physical, going places, explore your emotions, explore your mind. It's all types of things, you know what I'm saying? That's all configured in your chart. But that's what it's about if your North Node is in a Sagittarius. With the South Node in Gemini, then you may come naturally, you may act like you don't know things. You always want to get into something new, something different, something new, instead of sitting back and acting like you know what I'm saying? And that's what the North Node will be trying to tell you through experiences of it. Every time you want to try and let your curiosity lead you, with that South Node being in Gemini, you're going to run into things that's going to be trying to tell you should have been more wise, North Node in Sagittarius. If we move on, we put the North Node in Cancer, and then the South Node in Capricorn, right? Then North Node of Cancer try to tell you to be more open and more in tune with the emotions. You know what I'm saying? Don't be so, don't shut the emotions off, right? Ground your emotions, become more emotional secure, right? Get in tune with your family, get in tune with your inner space. You know what I'm saying? Find your emotional security and things like that. Where with your South Node being in Capricorn, you may come stern, structured, unemotionally moved, you know, unmoved emotionally, you know, or just unemotional, and things like that. Just worried about the success and trying to, you know, and your ambitions, and you trying to, you know, work and, you know, move up in your work and earn a title in life and things like that, right? That's your natural, but it's meant for you to be more in tune with home, in tune with your family, in tune with your emotions, and able to express them and things like that, with your North Node being in Cancer. If we flip it, right, we put the North Node in Capricorn and the South Node in Cancer, right? Then you may be meant to learn how to be more ambitious and work towards your goals, you know what I'm saying, and be more responsible, right? If you, when your South Node in Cancer, you may be more dependent on other people, you know what I'm saying? So you might not be that ambitious and going to get your goals and reach your goals and achieve your successes and things like that. But this life with the North Node being in Capricorn, it's going to constantly put you through those experiences that's going to shut you down. Every time you try to depend on somebody, you know what I'm saying, or emotionally depend on somebody, or let your emotions lead whatever you do, you're going to get shut down. You're going to run into roadblocks, because the North Node is trying to serve the purpose of developing this inner responsibility within you. You know what I'm saying? It's for spiritual growth, right? If we move the North Node into Leo, right, and with this, then we put the South Node in Uranus. I say Uranus. Uranus is Aquarius's planet. That's why I said it. But and if you learn all that, man, it'll be so easy to relate them, because all you gotta do is relate the planet to the sign, to the house. Man, it's the wisdom. But anyway, North Node in Leo, South Node in Aquarius, right? Then so that means your North Node trying to tell you to be more outgoing, more expressive, you know what I'm saying? Be able to express your creativities. Don't be afraid, take risks, be bold. Don't be afraid to stand in the spotlight, you know what I'm saying? And get the appreciation for doing so, right? You know, that's what your North Node wants you to do. But your South Node being in Aquarius may make you, man, more naturally standoffish, feeling like you're different, feeling like nobody, or you won't fit in. You know what I'm saying? You may still mingle and have friends, but you don't want to take charge, take the lead. Every time it's meant for you to take the lead, you might stand off, you know what I'm saying? But North Node will always try to put you in those predicaments to try to take the lead and take charge, so you can express the creativity that you meant to, which will help your spirit grow, right? If we flip it, then you put the North Node in Aquarius and you put the South Node in Leo. With North Node in Aquarius, it wants you to be different. It wants you to accept the uniqueness in yourself and express that difference that you are. You know what I'm saying? It wants you to kind of detach yourself from the movements and the norm and the things that society wants you to be, and be yourself. You know what I'm saying? South Node being in Leo, you may naturally fit into the norm. You know what I'm saying? You may naturally try to just have fun with life. You might not take nothing too serious. You're always taking risks. You may be, you know, attached emotionally and everything to, you know, the movements, trying to take control. South Node and Leo, you know what I'm saying? So life is trying to help you move away from that, and it's going to put you through experiences, harsh challenges and things like that. It's trying to tell you, just be yourself, be different, be unique. You know what I'm saying? Don't be attached in no way to none of the movements if it don't serve the purpose. You know what I'm saying? And that'll help, once again, that inner you, that spirit growth. Lastly, if we put the North Node in Virgo, right, and with the South Node in Pisces, right? So North Node in Virgo, it's trying to tell you to come and be more in tune to your reality, right? And be of service to what it takes to keep things going in your life and the environment around you. You know what I'm saying? To be more meticulous, to be more thoughtful, to be more calculated, more detail oriented, and more clean with yourself and your environment, more organized and stuff like that. But South Node being in Pisces, you may naturally be irresponsible. You don't want to handle none of these responsibilities. You're totally detached away from the movements of life. You might be all about your imagination, your dream. You know what I'm saying? And life is gonna put you through those moments where it's gonna shut that down, and you won't be able to produce nothing from it because it's meant for you to, do some of practical. You know what I'm saying? Some that actually makes sense for the moment. Of course, nothing wrong with having your dream and working for your dream, but you have to work and pay respect to the reality for the day. You know what I'm saying? And that's North Node in Virgo, right? If we flip it, then we put the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo, right? So North Node in Pisces is trying to tell you need to be more open-minded, be more into your dreams, your inner world, look beyond this reality, right? Because your South Node might naturally have you stuck in this reality. You may be stuck in work, stuck in the ritualistic, everyday focus that that keep us on and away from our inner world. You know what I'm saying? And North Node is trying to tell you that it serves you best to connect to that inner world and let that be what you express in whatever way it's configured throughout the rest of your chart, and not be so stuck and tied to the physical reality, which serves its purpose, but your dream is within you for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And so that that's a little brief and understanding of that North Node South Node relationship. Like I said, the North Node South Node is always in retrograde, so therefore its work is all about inner work, spiritual work. It's a spiritual development, a spiritual direction. Your North Node is the spiritual direction that you're headed in. Part of the reason that your spirit projected itself into this physical reality. You know what I'm saying? And if you read the rest of your chart, the rest of your planetary configuration and relationships, you will see that it'll add along to every other purpose. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a orchestrated web. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.